Hey, what is up guys, TOR Monday here, back with another video for you, and today I am doing a little bit of a sort of reviewy style thing of Star Wars and whether it's worth playing, Star Wars The Old Republic that is. And my answer, I'm just going to come straight over at the beginning, is yes, especially since the free-to-play update. It gives you a really big chance to get in there and test things out. You get access to loads of features. Of course, there's stuff you don't get access to, but they're mainly convenience options, like, faster movement speed and unlocking mounts at higher levels and bonus XP and stuff like that. You don't get access to that sort of stuff. You don't have to subscribe to get those things. You can buy them through the cartel market, which is like, you spend real money to buy in-game currency sort of thing, cartel coins, and then you can spend them on the cartel market for all sorts of cool little things. But yeah, I'd definitely say it's worth it. And of course, the main things everyone looks for are PvE and PvP. So I'm going to tell you what I think about those. PvE, they've really shaped up. I really thought it was way too easy when I first started. Me and my guild pretty much just cleared everything with no problem. Theory crafting and figuring out the tactics was not a hard thing to do at all. It was a very generic, average, not very special sort of PvE system. Whereas now I can definitely say that yes, I've been playing Star Wars again for a few weeks now. I've experienced the hardest of the hardest PvE content. What you're seeing right now is the hardest hard mode Flashpoint thing. And oh yeah, it is hard. This boss really took some time. I think we wiped him about 10 times, or we went through about 2 tanks. So yeah, it was really challenging, and I feared that when it comes to operations, so raids, it really is apparently a challenging PvE system. Sorry, that really makes you want to stay and conquer it and gear up your character, which is of course the addiction for PvE players. When it comes to other, like, there are still like easy hard modes. I mean, just like every game, it has its easy instances and its easy heroics. Of course, the old ones are still there. The ones that weren't very good are still there, and you will have to really go through them to get to the end. The more end PVE content, which is, yeah, as I've said, it's very good. This boss was like, holy shit, this is like a proper, PVE hard boss that I'm fighting here, which is something I hadn't seen in Star Wars. Not yet, anyway. But I have now. I've been like playing, like I said, quite a bit, and I really do like the PvE. And I'm not even a PvE player. I was just doing it to check it out, and it was, by my standards, a good PvE system. Once I'm gonna try and get my guild members a bit more active. Well, I say a bit more active. There's only 2 of us playing at the moment. Everyone else has ran off. But I'm gonna try and get a couple more people on so that we can do some raids, and I'll hopefully bring you an extended review then of the raids and such. But on to PvP. My reviews of the PvP system is, like, okay, let's say PvE, I'd give it a sort of a 9 out of 10. Well, an 8 out of 10, I'd say, for the PvE, because it's not a completely unique PvE system. But the PvP, I'd give more of a 6. Actually, okay, let's round it up. I'd say 7 for PvP and 9 for PvE. The reason I say 7 for PvP is because it really could do with some improvements. The game's been out for a year now, and certain things just that people have been raging about just do need fixing. Like the CC, there's too much of it. There is far too much CC, and they implemented this sort of thing called Resolve, which sort of, if you are really heavily CC'd, it'll fill your Resolve bar, and when the Resolve bar is full, it lowers the effectiveness of CC. But it really does fuck all. Nothing happens from what I notice. In any MMO, a skilled player really should be able to take on 2 to 3 other players in PvP. But in Star Wars, that's not the case. If you get more than one person on you, there's going to be way too much CC on you, way too much CC, and as a result of that, you will die, unfortunately. And yeah, you'll just stand no chance. And unless your team help you out, which never happens in pugs, you will get owned. And especially as a healer, it's really annoying because, of course, I get focused terribly, and there's nothing I can really do when I'm getting focused. I can't, I've only got 1 break. I can break out of CCs once, but then as soon as I do that, I'm CC'd again. So it's pretty sucky. And of course, there's just a regular Warzone system. The open world PvP seems to just still be broken. You can, if you check out some of my older videos, you'll hear me ranting about that completely. The original system they had, it was good, but it was broken. All it needed was fixing. But instead, they just looked straight past the fixing element and just went straight for recreating it. And they recreated a newer version, which was worse than the previous one. It didn't work. It just didn't work. They should have fixed the original system. It was exploitable. If you and the opposite faction actually worked together, you could get your daily quests done in seconds. But if you actually fought, then yeah, it would have been hard. They should have just made it so that it wasn't exploitable. I mean, it's not that hard. That's what they should have done. But instead, they implemented this new system, which took it on every day. You would get your daily. It would take then hours to complete. And the weekly, if you wanted to complete the weekly in one day, you'd have to sit there for like 5 or 6 hours farming Republic. Because there'd be about 200 to 300 Sith, the Empire, built up outside the Republic base, not letting them come out. And every now and then one of them would sort of come out and you just kill him and then you'd get granted a kill if you were lucky. It was sort of like a 20% chance that the crit kill would actually be granted to you. That did suck, and they do need a proper open world PvP system still. And like I said, there's far too much CC, and on top of that, there isn't a unique PvP element to it. You've got your battlegrounds and you've got your open world, which is broken. There's no like arena system, there's no like innovation there. Fair play with Hutball, although it's like the most hated Warzone. That is real. Hutball is them taking a stab at trying to be innovative with PvP. There's never been a Warzone or a battleground like that where, you know, you pick up a ball and you pass it around and you really have to work to a team to sort of get it to the enemy line and score. It's a sort of mini game mixed with PvP, but that's never been done before. That's a really unique concept for PvP. But it was quite a bad. It was a bad one. But props to them. Well, it's not a bad one. It's just it's really hated because it's so heavily reliant on teamwork that you'll never win if you're with a pug. You will never win. If you join it as a guild though and you really work together to pass the ball around, then you should have no problem with it. But the vast majority of the time, you're with a random load of idiots who don't work together and just run around trying to kill people. And as a result of that, you lose, and you get a bad impression for the Warzone because you keep losing because you have shit team. But yeah, props to BioWare there for taking a nice stab at the innovating PvP. There's also a new Warzone just come out, Hypergate, I think, Hypergate War, something like that. I'm going to be doing a review of that when I can actually find it, because you queue and you go into a random Warzone, and I've done that about 20 times and still haven't got it yet. So hopefully I will get it sometime soon. But that's the sort of main two, PvE and PvP, covered. But when it comes to the FTP stuff, so the free-to-play things, I'd definitely say it's worth checking out. I mean, the game is a big download, so if you've got a slow internet connection, just leave it on for like a day or two and just let it download. But it's worth it because you can get in, you can get some friends to come on with you, and you can just play. You get access to the complete leveling stuff. Sure, you gain XP a little slower than normal, but nothing too major, nothing you really notice, to be honest with you. I've been leveling up a new character, and I didn't notice anything. You get access to mounts at sort of a regular level as you did at launch. So as a free-to-play player, you'll be able to get your first mount at level 25, which was the same way it was when the game first came out. So that's what I went through, and I didn't really have a problem with that. I think if you're a subscriber, you get access to it at level 15. And if you pay for you can actually buy it at level 10 on the cartel market at level 10. So that's pretty awesome. You can get a mount at level 10 if you really want. And of course, then they really got their way to bring you all sorts of cool cosmetic stuff, which is really good. The cartel market is really good, and the FTP system, yeah, it's really good. You do get limited access to things like war zones and flashpoints, but you do get access to them, and you do get to level from 1 to 50, which I think is a really awesome free trial system, we'll call it. And then you can sub if you like the game. But yeah, that's been my sort of review here of Star Wars and the way it is. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe, and I'll have much more Star Wars content coming in future. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.